Hello, it's the 20th of April 2024. I hope you're doing well. My name is Gary Waterman. I'm a former police officer, a Christian and a victim of this horrendous system of fraud, the largest financial crime in the history of mankind, kind that involves our very own governments and their organisations, allowing the forgery of the Companies House registration system against companies attached incorporation documents to create unlawful entity companies that should never have been trading but have then still been doing so. This means they can't be held liable or accountable for anything at all, so they can get up to whatever they want. It's deliberate by our very own governments. The government have been allowing then banks to produce forged bank documents for these companies to use those documents to falsify their figures and send the real amounts into offshore accounts. It's absolutely horrendous and is all a crime under the 2006 Fraud Act. If you haven't seen my other videos, please go and check them out, and you can see a lot of the evidence showing this. And it's at Gary Truth Sets Us Free. That's at Gary Truth Sets Us Free on YouTube. There's various links within those videos in the description, including in most of them document links, so I suggest you look at those documents against the videos I'm showing, and you can corroborate and verify all of the information and see that it is true. I do suggest you do so. Now, this international system of fraud links very heavily to a child trafficking ring, and that includes to Ghislaine Maxwell, Robert Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, and therefore Operation Yewtree and Jimmy Savile. It's huge. Now, when I started publicising this back in early March, I started receiving contact from a lovely family whose child within that family appears to be being abused whilst in the care system. Now, I've seen some of the evidence in relation to that, and that includes bruising that's been happening to that child. Some of that is within the nappy area of the child that is not consistent, I believe, with a child of 23 months old. That's how old this child is. But the family also have evidence of injection marks on that body, dilated eyes, and unsteadiness on that unsteadiness with that child, and drowsiness. This all suggests that that child is being drugged and abused whilst in the care system. Now, I've seen evidence of a contract that the solicitors are trying to get those family members to sign, which clearly appears to be trying to get them to ensure that no further photographic evidence can be taken to prove any injuries to that child. It's clearly a cover-up. I've also contacted various organisations, including around 650 MPs in relation to this child, and also the wider implications of the international fraud that links to this child trafficking. I've contacted Hampshire and Isle of Wight Police, where this relates. The child is on the Isle of Wight. And on the first time was well over a month ago. I was told I'd receive a call within 2 days so I could provide the evidence that I have, the documentation, which includes many individuals in the organisations around that child. So one of the doctors, the courts, judges, the solicitors, the school, some of the social workers, connecting back through into this system of fraud and child trafficking through Companies House research. It's huge. It also links to an offshore island parliamentary group set up by the MP for that area. And within one company, on the very first member of that group, it linked to Ghislaine Maxwell as well. This led to evidence of apparent child abuse and murders on the Isle of Jersey back in 2006-2007, and inquiries through the lead investigating officers. Some of the leading investigating officers in that case led straight back into the system of fraud and child trafficking, and linked back through to companies involved closely with Madeleine McCann and Nicola Bulley. It's huge. It's so huge. It's horrendous that it's going on. But it is all true, everything I've told you. But please go and verify it if you don't believe me. So these next few videos are going to be showing some of the things that myself and the child's family have been trying to do. Some visits to the police stations, and also some calls that have been made to try and protect this child. I've run out of all other options. I can't think of anything else to do. I've found that the NSPCC, Childline and Children in Need are all linked to this systematic problem of child trafficking through company documents, because they link through to Max Clifford and Jeffrey Epstein, etc. It's absolutely massive. The head of the NSPCC, the CEO, has just resigned. That's no coincidence, I believe. And there's people resigning all over the place, which is just emphasising how true all of this is. Including Theresa May has just resigned, or not resigned, stepping down from being in the next election, sitting in the next general election. So it's huge, and I hope everyone is now coming to the same page on this, that things have to change. And I urge all of you to get involved in this. All right, there is no more burying your head in the sand. You can all do something, whether it be going and knocking on your neighbours' doors, posting a little letter through their box, contacting your local councillors, emailing your police and crime commissioners, who, by the way, they're the organisation is involved in this, but of course there'll be innocent people within this. You know, you could be contacting your chief of police, the chief constable for the police, contact the head of social services. There's things you can be doing. Stop paying your taxes. Stop paying. Stop paying everything because of this, because we have to compel a change, and we can't actually lawfully now pay because this system of fraud is now being utilised and evidenced through the whole taxation system, because politicians are using these companies, using these they've been set up fraudulently for our tax contributions, which means they can falsify the figures of what's actually being spent through those companies and send the real tax money out the back into all sorts of horrendous things. It's linked to illegal weapons companies that should never even be firing their weapons. Okay, and yet we've got children and women being killed in Gaza and in Ukraine using these weapons companies. It's all a crime. The whole lot, and we can't pay into it because we become complicit. We become aiding and abetting this system of crime. There's things they can do to stop it. Why aren't they? I ask you, why aren't they ensuring there's a fully transparent taxation system at the source of payments? Why aren't they verifying all company details for Companies House that we've just talked about? Why are they falsifying the company's register against these corporation documents? Why aren't they ensuring there is very strict legislation in place with serious consequences to ensure that politicians can't make decisions for themselves? Why are they so now urgently trying to move to a cashless system? The SWIFT international transaction system, which is fraudulent, by the way, and has been set up in this way, is now publicising an expedited proposal to move to central bank digital currency and therefore move us closer to a cashless society. Why are they doing that? Ask yourselves all of these questions. It's very simple why they're doing all of it. Because they want this system of fraud and the child trafficking to continue. Watch these videos, guys. Those of you in the police that are innocent, those of you in the armed forces that are innocent, what are you doing? Look at yourselves in the mirror. Most of you have children. Look at yourselves and see what you're part of. The heads of your organisations are compromised, have been infiltrated. You need to realise that, guys. God bless you all.